Thank you guys and welcome to the Patrick Show. Remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed and whether you are new. Also, remember to hit that notification bell in order for you to receive any updates, any uploads that you're going to upload on this particular channel. And if you have already do so, kindly we are requesting you to share in order for us to be reached out by many audience, and in order for this knowledge that you are going to acquire onto this platform to be shared and to be acquired by those that they haven't have a chance. Let us begin. Today, we are going to tackle on a particular disease known as hypertension. We are going to see the causes of hypertension. Also, we are going to see on how to manage hypertension. And also, we are going to tackle the risk factor of hypertension, not only forgetting how we are going to treat hypertension. Be with me, relax, and enjoy. Find this an interesting moment and session. Thank you. Most people may ask themselves, what is hypertension? First of all, hypertension, this is elevated blood pressure under the heart. Elevated blood pressure under the heart, whereby this hypertension, it is a chronic disease. Not forgetting it's under the cardiovascular disease. As we're going to tackle this hypertension, we are going to ask ourselves how this hypertension comes about. Actually, we are going to tackle hypertension by looking at three aspects. One is systolic, two, it's diastolic, and three, we are going to look at pulse rate. What is systolic? You might ask yourself, what is systolic? What is diastolic? And what is pulse rate? Systolic, this is whereby it is a pressure that it's being accumulated by the heart under the full cardiac cycle when the heart contracts. That is systolic. What is diastolic? Diastolic, this is the pressure of the blood flow to the heart that is being accumulated through the heart all around the cardiac cycle when the heart relaxes. Actually, if you can see through those two definitions, they are opposite of one another. What is pulse rate? Pulse rate, this is the rhythmically heartbeat of the heart, which it is done after every 72 minutes per minute, 72 times per minute. That's the heartbeat. Having known that, this is where we can go to know how this hypertension comes about. This hypertension, it is categorized into two types. One, it is primary or idiopathic hypertension or essential hypertension, of which this type of hypertension affects 90 to 95% of people globally. The second one, it is called secondary hypertension, of which this affects about 10 to 15% of people globally. Let us focus on this secondary type of hypertension. This is whereby it is majorly caused by the kidney. It's under kidney. This might occur when there is a kidney failure or there is an injury to a kidney, or something like radiotherapy that a person has undergone. Knowing that, we can now identify what are the risk factors to hypertension. Somebody may ask him or herself the meaning of risk factor. Risk factor, these are the components or they are the agents that facilitate one to acquire hypertension. Number one, we are going to tackle about age of a person. Risk factor number one, that is age of a person. This affects the person. When the person is getting older, the rate of him or her to be hypertensive, it's on high rate as compared to that one with a smaller age. For example, those that they are over 40 years and above, they are at risk factor of getting hypertension as compared to those that they are at 18 years and below. According to that analytics, it's not necessarily, or that means that a one cannot acquire hypertension. This is just only applies to that secondary hypertension, which affects only 10 to 15% of people. Number two, we are going to tackle about obesity. Someone might ask him or herself, what is obesity? Obesity, this is an increase in weight or body mass than the required. And this might be caused by, for example, when the symptomatic nervous systems and activities that includes into the body, whereby there is that flow of blood through the arteries and veins. But when someone is obese, that person is highly to be hypertensive due to overweight of the body. Another risk factor, number three, self-sensitivity. This self-sensitivity is whereby you find one taking him or herself by consuming high amount rate of salt. When someone consumes the level of salt in high amount, that person exposing him or herself at the risk of being hypertensive. Sometimes you might ask, what does this salt do to your body in order for you to be hypertensive? In the body, there is something that we call electrolyte balance. When salt contains sodium as an element and chlorine as an element, chloride, hence making it to be sodium chloride. Hence, when these electrolytes in the body come in contact with those elements, this at high amount, when it's highly concentrated, it causes someone to be hypertensive. And then there is what we call psychological stress. When someone is overwhelmed or overstressed, exposing him or herself to be hypertensive. If someone has a high percentage of being stressed up. Either stress might be internal or external stress. We are going to cover that on the next video. When someone is highly stressful, him or herself will be at high risk of getting hypertension. Now, with that knowledge of knowing what are the major risk factors of someone to be hypertensive, now we are going to look at what are the major consequences of hypertension. Someone may ask him or herself what is the meaning of consequences. Consequences, these are the outcomes when someone acquires that disease, hypertension. These are the outcomes. Consequence number 1, there will be strain in heart pumps. As we begin to this channel and to this video, and you just seeing definition of systolic, diastolic, and pulse rate. This, when there is a strain in heart pump, there will be a strain in heart. This is whereby the blood will strain in order for it to beat at the 72 pulse rate per minute, in order for it to pump the blood. That is consequence number 1. There will be a strain in heart pumps blood, pumping the blood. Consequence number 2, there will be blockage of arteries. This is where the rate of obesity as a risk factor indulges or come in to this consequence number 2, blockage of arteries. This is blockage of arteries. It will be as a result of obesity. And you might ask yourself, what is the function of arteries? These are the channels that you use to transport blood. Consequence number 3, there will be a kidney damage due to inadequate blood supply. We know that during the kidney, there is ultrafiltration process that need blood in order for it to take place sometimes. Hence, when the kidney is being damaged, there will be that lack of supplementation or supply of blood into the kidney, hence causing kidney failure at some point. At some point, it may cause kidney failure. Sometimes the consequences, another consequence, it will be like injury to the kidney, whereby there will be more strainers in order for kidney to receive that blood. Knowing that, what might be the consequences of hypertension, we are now going to cover how to manage it. In order for you to manage it, this is the person, maybe for a patient who is having hypertension or a patient who is hypertensive. This is how we are going to manage it. And in management of hypertension, it is categorized into 2: clinically and nutritionalist. Nutrition, in terms of nutrition, whereby we will consume a certain types of food and some food are omitted. The way number 1 to manage hypertension, it is weight reduction. When you reduce your weight, by undergoing various exercise, and we are going to look at what are the best exercise for hypertensive person. Way number one is by weight reduction. Weight reduction, this one will become to that one of a serving portion. First of all, a serving portion. A serving portion in terms of, for example, let's say ugali. A portion of ugali will help you to reduce the rate of body weight. When someone indulges and undergo the rate exercise like jogging, running, exercising, the breathing exercise, that helps one to manage the hypertension. Management number two, let us avoid salt. Definitely, for a patient who is hypertensive, it is recommended for him or her to reduce salt intake in order to balance the electrolytes in his or her body. Hence, the result will be reduction of hypertension and management. Management number three will restrict calories. What are calories? These are the rate of fat that be taken to a certain type of food. For example, food that it is highly in fats, we recommend that person to reduce it in order to manage the hypertension. Another management is by avoiding smoking. And in smoking, we have two types of smokers. We have active smokers, by which they indulge themselves in directly smoking, and inactive smoker or passive, whereby this is the someone who, when active smoker indulges and they mid smoke, that one now smoke it, take it. Then management number three, check on your hypertension. And hypertension in hospital, this is now is medically. Hypertension is in hospital. It is measured by the hypertension is measured by blood pressure. In simple terms, it's measured in terms of blood pressure, and its denomination, it's in millimeter of mercury, mmHg, millimeter of mercury. And now this, you're going to see which is the best rate of systolic and diastolic and pulse rate for you to know that you are a good and not hypertensive. When someone has a systolic of 140 over 90, diastolic 90, 140 over 90, that is the required one. That is the required one. Another thing, you might go and take your blood pressure and find out that you might having 140 to 159 as a systolic. That is stage 1 of hypertensive. And maybe your diastolic will be 90 to 99. That is a stage 1 hypertension person. Rather than you might be going and measured and found out that your diastolic is above 160 and your systolic is above 100. That person will be considered as hypertension type 2 or a stage 2 hypertensive person. I will recommend you to go and check your status for hypertension. Since hypertension, it's a disease that generates slowly. That is medically. And the best medication for hypertension person, to in order for it to be curbed down, it is Adalat. Adalat, it is known to be the best in order for those that they are in stage 1 to prevent them to come in stage 2. And I will always recommend that if by mistake or by chance you are hypertensive, try to reduce your stress, engage yourself in physical activity, exercise, attend to your medication, and another one, eat on a healthy diet at a portion, as we spoke earlier before. That will help someone who is hypertensive to manage. Always not forgetting to go and check on your weight. Weight balance will help someone to curb the rate of hypertension on him or herself at a good rate in order for it to be the best. Now, someone has acquired all the medications and he or she taking the medication at the right prescription at the right time without any delay. Now we are going to see what will be the best foods for that person in order to be best. Under the fruit, we are going to require someone to eat banana. Banana is high in potassium, and this one will help that person to reduce the rate of pressure or hypertension. Just to mention but a few, just eat banana, apples, grapes, and citrus fruit. These citric fruit are mangoes. Citric fruit are not mangoes. Citric fruit are oranges. That one I'll be requested that you check on that one. When we come to something like drinks, have plenty of water. Take 80 glasses of water per day. And in order for one to achieve 8 glasses of water per day, it's easy. It's easy. It is easy for you to attain that 8 glasses per day. You might ask yourself, how am I going to obtain that 8 glasses per day? 1, when you wake up, just drink only 2 glasses. Around 10 to 12, add another 2 glasses. That is 4. Accordingly. Then from 2 to 4, another 2 glasses. That is 6 glasses. And another one about 6 to 7, take another 2 glasses. Already you will be attained that 8 glasses required. By good chance, there will be someone who will take 3 accordingly glasses. That's better, that's good. Another thing, a glass of milk. This will help you to curb the rate of hypertension. Now you might ask yourself, what are the best food? What are the foods to avoid? Food that are in highly salt. Avoid those food that are in large amount of salt. Another food to avoid is more food of sugary. Food that contain high amount of sugar, it's highly restricted. Just to mention but a few. Now we are going to see the natural ways that you're going to manage this hypertension. Natural ways without using medication. One, attend that balanced diet. And we are going on our next lesson, we are going to learn about what is a balanced diet and what is the balanced diet and its medication. That's the next topic. Then do exercise. Exercise, joggings, runnings, walking, breathing exercise, stretches, and those that they can do yoga exercise. Another thing, avoid stress. Avoid stress. This is the most common that bring about hypertension. Avoid stress. Then, the last but not least, have enough rest. Have enough rest by attaining that 8-hour sleep at least. Then avoid whole wheat bread. The best bread that is required, it is that contain a well number of slices someone must be taking. Thank you guys, and thank you for joining me on this platform, on this channel, as we discuss about hypertension. Hope you have learned something, and let this message not only be heard by you, also share in order for other people to have the knowledge and the skills and how to curb and manage the rate of hypertension. Kudos. Remember to subscribe, share in order for other people to get the knowledge. I'm your host, Patricky. Thank you and welcome to the Patrick Show, as we're going to tackle the next lesson. Kudos.